The first thing I want to talk about is total communication. So making sure that you understand the difference in communication styles. So some of the things that you consider for the individual that you are supporting is, how does this individual learn best? Using a combination of strategies helps the individual to be able to process things in multiple ways. There may only be one thing that stands out to them, or maybe they learn 4 different ways of communicating the same thing. By this I mean we're going to use the example for a block. This is a block that you would play with. So I can show somebody a block as a tactile cue, something they can touch, something that's tangible. The important thing with tactile cues is that it represents the activity that you're doing. It's not something that you have to have a cognitive understanding of. It's something that's real, and it's something that means something to that person. So a block is something that I can play with, it's something I can touch, and it's something that I could actually take this with me and connect it to other blocks. So this is a great cue for a block. You can use a tactile cue. You can use the word block. So you can show somebody the word block. Sometimes some people will actually put the word right on the cue. So now you have a block and it says block. Another item that can be used are picture symbols, so PECS. So this is a representation of blocks. They're stacked up. Again, you can combine this right on the cue if you want to, along with the word, so that now you have a block, the tactile cue, the word, and you have the PECS symbol. You can put them together. You could always put one on each side so that you have a visual representation and you have a text representation. Because somebody with some sight, they may like looking at pictures. Now this is a rather large picture. I would use a typical standard size photo, but of real objects. Now, a suggestion is, if you're going to use photos to use them as representation, try to make sure that there is nothing else in the background. It makes it very difficult if you take a real picture of a block, but there's also Legos and markers and everything else in the background, because that person isn't able to focus on the actual items that you're talking about. So just a black background with a piece of construction paper behind it, or something solid so that just the item that you're talking about stands out. The other thing that you can do is add the sign. So the signed exact English sign for block is you have your hands out and your thumbs touch. So block. So when I put all of these things together and I present them to the individual, I'm saying the word block, I'm showing them a block, I'm giving them the written text for block, I'm giving the PECS symbol for block, a picture for block, and then I'm presenting them with the sign block. So that's our total communication.